Howdy guys, welcome back to the channel. Maverick here with episode 5 of Gleipnir. So, the last episode didn't really quite go as we expected, right? Even though Shuichi and Claire, actually managed to find Claire's sister, Elena. They didn't really exchange much information. All we know is that Irina was indeed responsible for Shuichi turning into the current monster that he is now, responsible for his situation due to her crush on him, even though Shuichi has absolutely no knowledge of this. And Elena does seem to be the one who was responsible for killing her and Claire's parents, right? And then we also meet the alien, get the sort of kind of context of the entire background story, although I definitely feel like there's still a bit more that the alien is hiding from all of us. And with that in mind though, Shuichi and Claire have basically decided that they will try to collect these coins, at least they fall into some other people's hands. And so that's where we are right now. Let's jump right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Who are you? Probably someone... Okay. Someone who's looking for the coins. Why I get the feeling she's gonna be killed. Yep. uh, or they're looking at this guy. I feel like this guy's gonna be the one who's gonna get killed. Wow. A gorilla? Wow. Something tells me the girl's gonna win, actually. Maybe just because she looks more like a character that is able to hold a normal conversation. Gleipnir. Niru. Alright. Alina. Who are these? Oh no, actually, that dude seems to be the one who won in the end. Alright, never mind. I'm definitely most interested in this girl. Alright. Ooh. 3 hours earlier.
山道でもないこんな山奥山菜採りにだって誰も来ないわ。 化け物だと思って間違いないわ。
どうするのクレア。もし本当に出会ったら。
正直相手の出方次第ね。本当は相手より先にこっちが見つけて、相手が気づく前に攻撃を。
ダメだよそんなの。相手がいい人か悪い人かもわからないのに。
言うと思った。けど確かに会う化け物全部と戦ってたらこっち
True.
は持たないわね。それに今欲しいのは情報よ。あの宇宙人はここに来ればコインがたくさん拾えるって教えてくれたけど、こんな広い山闇雲に探したって簡単には集まらない。具体的にどこでコインが見つかったのか、この山でコインを探している化け物収集者がどれだけいるか、その中でヤバいやつは誰なのか、そいつらはどこで何をしているのか。
Couldn't they have gone back and asked the alien?
何も知らない。
Even though it wasn't particularly helpful, I don't think he had any particular reason to say no either.
安心して。多分見つけるのはこっちが先よ。週一にはよく聞く花があるから。
待ってよ。いきなり変身して、もし相手が普通の人間だったら。
バカね。言ったでしょ、ここは化け物しか来ないって。ここは街とは逆なの。ここで隠さなくちゃいけないのは私たちの素顔。もし敵意のある相手に遭遇してそいつに素性がバレたら危険になるのは私たちの日常よ。
Really liking her.
ラスト落とされたり、最悪家族や友達を。
She is much more smarter than Shuichi. He's not really giving any thought about this.
化け物の姿で相手の前に立つんだから相手も警戒する。けど面白いと思わない？こんな山の中で素性も性格も能力もわからない2匹の化け物がばったり会うの。何が起こるのかしら。
あ、
クレア待て。そっちに行っちゃダメだ。誰かいる。
近いの？
わからないけど、多分そんなには近く。200メートルくらい。
よかった。服を脱ぐ時間くらいはあるわね。週一も早く変身して。
まさかクレア。
こっちから仕掛ける。確かに危険を避け安全にコツコツコインを集めるという手もある。一見正しいように思えるけどそれは不正解。そんなことしてたら誰かが先に必要枚数のコインを集めて力を手に入れてしまう。リスクを恐れていたら手遅れになってしまう。ここでの正解はリスクの中に踏み込むこと。
大きい。僕よりもずっと。それになんだあの。
alright. So what's the plan here?
初めてだ。敵の方から姿を現したのは。
敵。
今まで何度か収集者らしい気配は感じたが、皆私の姿を見ると逃げていった。
Well, you certainly look intimidating.
敵ってわけじゃないわ。あなたと話がしたいだけ。
その声、お前は女か。そうか、残念だ。いや、贅沢は言えないな。
そっちも一人？
うまい。一人だと思わせたのか。
話とはコインのことだろう。だがあいにく私はコインについてあまり詳しくない。
それは私も同じよ。だから協力を。
私はコインを探しに来たのではない。強くなりたいと願い宇宙人にこの力をもらった。だがいざ使ってみる
just wants to fight? This guy's just here because he wants to fight. Okay, Shuichi. Surely your morals aren't gonna be a problem here, right? What are you? Huh. I'm thinking. Did Shuichi try to make the first move because I wonder if it's because he was displeased by how this dude was using normal, not having any regard for other humans, or was it because or because he felt danger and he felt he needed to protect them. Yeah. I would have thought that they would have stayed in the shadows observing for first. Yeah, good point. I really think you shouldn't have shown your. This is not the time to be. Honestly, you seriously think. Yeah, aren't you being a little bit too contentious here? Guys, stop freezing here. Yeah, seriously, guys. Like, why would you wait for the enemy to... Oh my god. And here I was just giving Claire props.
やはりまだ未完成。威力だけではダメだ。実戦で使うには正確さも必
No,
要。
okay, fine.
ま
They
だ
managed to
出た。
escape in time.
だがそれなりの手応えはあった。そう遠くへは逃げられないはず。
Oh no, not complete.
隠れてないで出てこい。まだ決着はついていないぞ。仕方ない。
He's just gonna. This dude. He's just gonna cut down the entire forest. What?
何をしている。まさか今さら力比べでもしようというのか。私をバカにするな。単純な力の差などもう見えたはず。それとも今さら命を懸けた勝負が怖くなったか。お前には落胆した。死ね。
あんたがね、
Boom.
誰だあの女は。
Why the hell would you?
現れた。
あんたの負けよ。
仲間が隠れていた。
Oh,
違う。
it was a. It's just trying to bluff. Would that really work?
では今私の前にいるのは。面白い。本人の理解も納得も関係なく一瞬で形勢が変わる。命のやり取りとはこういうものなのだろうな。思ったよりも力が強い。振りほどくより先におそらくは
Hmm.
女がこれを操っているのか。
負けを認めろ。僕は人殺しなんか。
周一、
違う。二人いる。目の前にいるのが変身した収集者。
Shuichi.
あの女は
Oh my god.
聞いていいか。
ダメよ。
もしあの女がただの人間だとしたら私の腕を貫通するほどの銃、そんなものを生身で使えば。分かっているのか。そうか。いいだろう。私の負けだ。
What?
周一、
違うんだクレア。いきなり変身を解くなんて思わなくて。
気にすることないわ。こいつが間抜けだったってだけの話よ。
What the hell happened?
その通りだ。これは命のやりとり。そして私はそれに負けた。殺せ。
こいつバカね。あんたを殺しても何のメリットもないわ。なのに私たちはあんたの言う命がけの勝負とやらに付き合わされた。この落とし前どうするの？
クレア。
すまない。
スマホを出しなさい。
持っていない。
嘘よ。
本当だ。
どうして？
男らしくないか。
Oh my god.
女、悪いが、そろそろ服を着て。
Okay, this guy is basically Shuichi. Fine. I get it, I get it. Whatever.
スマホがないなら住所と家の電話番号を言いなさい。
いいなそれ。俺にも教えてくれよ。そっちの二人もだ。
周一、
気づかなかった。風下から来たから匂いが。
You guys are Yeah.
俺みたいな危ないやつに見つかっちまう。今日からお前らは俺の奴隷だ。ありがたい。お前のようなゲスが相手なら。
I don't think this is gonna end well.
遠慮なく殺せる。
Huh? Just like that?
よかった。あんたがあまりにも強いから、他の化け物もみんなそのレベルかと思ったら、
True.
そういうわけでもなさそうね。
それで私はどうすればいい？
決まってるでしょ。私たちのコイン探しを手伝うの。私たちといるともっと危ない橋が渡れるわよ。
それは楽しみだな。
まあ怪我が治ってからでもいいわ。あばらとか折れてるでしょ、それ。
大丈夫ですか？
これは君がやってくれたのか。ありがとう。
His
君とあの女はどういう
his morals are being like flipped right now.
住民に変身してクレアがその中に入って戦うんです。そう、今回も僕は何も。
二手に分かれたのもあの女の案か。
それは違うわ。秀一のバカが自分がおとりになるから私に逃げろって言ったの。だから私がそれをアレンジした。けど私はあんな作戦嫌いよ。どうせ死ぬなら秀一と一緒がいい。
そうか。秀一、お前は男だな。
Aw.
分かった。お前たちに協力しよう。この命にかけて。
助かるわ。こいつの仲間とやらが来る前に一度山を降りるわよ。ちょうど今次の獲物が見つかったから。
Okay. I think these are the ones who were in the opening. Well, that happened. All right. See you guys after this. Alrighty, so I guess in this episode we can basically sum it down to another case of dumb luck. And I guess that might be a little bit harsh, but seriously, it's a good thing that they actually met that the first monster that they met was actually Sanbei, who is actually someone who still plays by morals, plays by some sense of justice, right? Even though he does say that he wants to go around and fight people, it seems that he still has a sword. It's not completely indiscriminately, right? And the reason why I say this is because for a few things, right? So first of all, don't get me wrong, I really do love Claire and her forward thinking in this episode compared to Shuichi, who doesn't really think of anything, honestly. Claire, at least, I think, does things that I feel a lot of these fighting sort of, you know, anything that's related with action and all that, many times I always am frustrated by the lack of critical thinking on the main character's part, right? Like rushing headlong into battle, not gathering intelligence first, assuming a lot of incorrect things, and not providing contingency plans, backup plans in case something goes wrong, so on and so forth, right? And Claire is definitely someone who really thinks about all these things and thinks through what she's trying to do, right? Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that she is completely 100% in the right. Like, for instance, in this episode, I do feel like she sort of showed showed themselves a little bit too early. Like I would have preferred if they could basically just tail some monster first, and then see them encountering another monster to sort of gauge the different abilities and potential power levels of all these different monsters and whatnot. But I can't really fault her for that, because at least she's trying to do something, right? And indeed, she just made an incorrect assumption based on her past experience. At least that was logical, so I can't really fault her for that part. And the plan itself was also basically the different things, the point of operations that she did was also quite correct, right? It's hiding their faces, not giving away that there were actually two people working a team, and so on and so forth, revealing as little information as possible, right? I feel like that is actually very important. The only things operational wise that I think she sort of misplayed a little bit is in utilizing their trump card, the gun, the revolver, a little bit too early. I would have liked them to hold on to it for more of a trump card, or indeed to use it as a sort of ambush weapon, and instead of just literally just taking it out and pointing it at the enemy, right? Although I guess in a way she might have wanted to use it as a sort of intimidation weapon instead. So there's also that kind of well, there's also that line of thinking that we have to consider. Now, Shuichi, on the other hand, of course, giving him props, he is a man of character. He of course, he's nice. He has a sense of justice and all that. But I mean, like I said, it's a good thing that they actually met Sanbei as their first enemy and not someone else. Otherwise, he really could have easily gotten them killed, right? Say for instance, at the very last scene between them and Sanbei, right? First of all, even with Claire just showing up using holding the gun in her hands, I feel like that's a little bit too. That's a huge risk, right? And indeed, I think Sanbei actually calculated that as well. Her pulling the trigger would actually cause. She wouldn't really be able to fire the weapon correctly. The recoil on that weapon is way too large to be handled by a normal human being, not to mention a young teenage girl, right? So, that's definitely something instantly a no-no. And they could have had this plausibility, right? This plausibility of her not actually being completely human, if they didn't actually show their hand that they were actually working in a team, and the monster is actually Shuichi and not Claire herself. So, though I think, again, I'm not really quite sure why Sanbei decided to just give up in the very end. Was he sort of impressed by them working in tandem, or was it that he didn't really want to risk the possibility that Claire was maybe not a normal human and was perfectly capable of firing that weapon, right? I'm not entirely sure what compelled him to give up in the end there, but in any case, it's a good thing that it was Sanbei. If it was literally someone else, I think maybe that person would have just directly killed Shuichi in his monster form and then went after Claire, right? So definitely a little bit of luck and plot armor on that part. And again, it's also a good thing that they met Sanbei, because he apparently is much stronger than your average run-of-the-mill monster. And speaking of which, so at the beginning of this episode, we met two other, well, let's not call them monsters, let's call them gathers, right? I think in the end, looking at the opening, the creepy guy is actually the one who's going to survive, and not the girl there, right? Although initially I thought it was going to be the girl, because that dude just looked like looked like a minion sort of character, right? So not exactly someone who can live for very long. But apparently I was wrong, and he is indeed going to be some sort of formidable opponent. And we indeed see through the cell phone as well, which Claire managed to get, some of the other characters that also appeared in the opening. So I guess that is a team that is working together. So we are actually getting into some team battles as well, which is probably why Sanbei is sort of like an ally, or on the same team as Shuichi and Claire now. And so yeah, that's basically it for this particular episode. Once again, I do enjoy the fact that Claire is trying to use her brain. Shuichi, I certainly hope he'll get there someday, right? And indeed, his morals, I don't know. Maybe Sanbei can knock some sense into him, right? Considering that he did just literally slay this other dude, no problem as well, who was clearly a bad guy, right? He was suggesting to do lots of questionable things to Claire. I think, come on, Shuichi, you gotta, in some cases, not killing is one thing. In some cases, you gotta kind of accept the situation and accept that that is something you will have to do, right? So hopefully we will get more growth from him in the future. So there we go. That was episode 5 of Gleipnir. Not really any news of it stopping anytime soon, so I guess we can continue to look forward to it next week as well. So stay tuned, guys, and bye-bye.